diaspora, um, when it comes down to basically just trying to my father. All right, this is the best way.
Mhm,
The way I look at it.
mhm,
First, we need to find our identity as Black Americans and actually define ourselves, especially if we're going to try to get representation within our own Congress
mhm,
when it comes down to it within the United States of America. We have people like Byron Donald
mhm,
who uses the idea of, all right, we're black. Well, he's black, of course, right? But he is not FBA. FBA. His parents is not FBA. His parents actually come from the Caribbean.
mhm.
And when it came down to the idea of he doesn't believe in getting um and he's like a roadblock when it
But
comes to
Bowen,
actually.
Bowen, I have a question for you. Can you define for us, because some of us, at least for me, I can say I'm not really so sure what FBAs are, and we've talked about it. But I'm also open to hear what is your definition of FBA?
My definition of FBA that you can date your ancestry from the time period of slavery.
Okay.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that you're not you're that we are not immigrants of the United States of America, but we are basically our lineage comes from we can as the United States. We can date ourselves here before the United States of America actually was formed.
Mm-hmm.
We are, um, our ancestry comes before
Okay.
1776.
Okay. So what prompted you to decide to join this conversation?
I saw FBA just like Africans.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that's the case at all.
Okay. All right. So what do you say it is? What is the actual reality of this situation?
I think that we're just as foundation Black Americans has no dislike of Africans, but want to be basically find our basically want to identify ourselves separate from African Americans who are not like I'm not an African American. I am a foundational Black American.
Okay. So what's the difference though?
One is like I am not Elon Musk. Elon
Mm,
Musk is an African American. Um,
okay.
like one of my uh, I'm not a Caribbean American.
Mm,
Um, that's Donald is a Caribbean American. Um, who else is an African American? Um, that I can pick out. Barack Obama is basically more or less a Caribbean American. I'm not, but Michelle Obama is an FBA.
mm-hmm. Okay.
He's a foundational Black American. You
Okay,
know,
like that. Yeah. Okay.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. You know, and there's significant differences there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Okay, so I get it. So you are from America. Okay, just basically what Nadia was saying earlier as well. So Nadia was actually making these points, the differences between the FBA and Africans. Okay, so laugh.
if you come to the United States, if you came to the United States,
Mhm.
you will be considered an African American.
Okay,
You're not FBA. You know what I
okay.
mean?
Hmm.
Um, I am not African American.
Is there a specific looks, or is
No,
it based on lineage?
it's based on lineage. It's based on culture.
Hmm.
You know,
Okay. So how
it's
would
more or less based on culture more than it's based on like lineage. It's basically more based on culture.
mhm.
It's I say it's more or less culture than more lineage too.
Okay, more
You know?
culture.
Would you say if okay, for example, if I was black and I was born in America, I'm FBA, but then I'm from Nigeria and I visited America and decided to live there, I'm classified as African American.
Well, that's not actually true. That's not actually true because if your parents are from Nigeria and you were born in the United States, culturally you're still Nigerian because your parents taught you Nigerian culture. Then you walk through that front door, you still are Nigerian, like the language, the food, the music. You still are baptized in Nigerian culture. Unlike a Black American who walks in the front door of their home and baptized in a Black American culture. Like I remember walking to my front door. By the way, I'm 53 years old, by the way. I walked to my front door. I was walked right into the stylistics and the OJs. I walked right into like gospel music on Sundays. I wore my Sunday best. You know what I mean? Like that's how I walked into my front door. I was baptized within James Brown, Black and I'm Proud. You know what I mean? I was taught about the Black Panthers, and I was taught about about Huey and all this other stuff. I was raised in Black culture. You know what I mean? Growing up in the streets of Philadelphia, where I'm from. You know what I mean? That's my culture. These are my people. You know what I mean? I don't know anything about Nigeria or growing up. I was raised strictly in a Black family culture in the United States of America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have pictures of me and Muhammad Ali. You know what I mean? Growing up. That's what I know. You know what I mean?
So even, for example, if you did an ancestry test and you found that, I don't know, you have a percentage of Nigerian, you're saying that doesn't count because you've been raised in a Black community.
When my people were was in Africa, there was no Nigeria.
Okay.
My ancestry in the United States, dates way older than Nigeria. I'm talking about the 1600s. There was no Nigeria in the 1600s.
Okay. Interesting. That doesn't mean that.
My people are older than Nigeria. You understand that, sir? Nigeria, West Africa, that carving of that pie, Europeans carved that pie out later on down the line. I might be West African, not like West African, but there was no countries called Nigeria. There was no countries called the Congo back then. These are later on colonialisms that date way like hundred. You're talking about things that were created in the 1800s when my ancestors were around about the transatlantic slave trades. It's around 1600. So I can date my ancestry older than most Nigerians.
Okay, interesting.
You understand that, sir?
Okay, yeah, interesting. Nadia, do you?
The United States is older. The United States is older than Nigeria.
Okay. So then, would you say that when Christopher Columbus came to America, were the foundational blacks, the FBAs, were they already in America though?
I'm sorry. I'm going to answer the guy. I made a mistake when I was in the Congo. I made a mistake, sir, when you about the Congo. Yeah. That's to correct myself. I know the Congo, Central Africa. I know that. That was a mistake of just me coming out. I'm sorry about that.
So did you get the question, Bao, or should I ask it again?
Yeah, I didn't catch the question.
So when Christopher Columbus went to America, were there FBAs present beforehand or just afterwards, after he came?
Well, there have been. Well, firstly, Christopher Columbus never went into the continental United States of America. He ended up in the West Indies.
Okay.
First and foremost.
Who came to America again? Which?
Well, there's argumentative. There's argumentative what who's the first Europeans that entered the United States.
The British.
Yeah. And then
There are some people say there were Vikings here on the New World before that. There's
Yeah.
evidence. There's evidence that there were Viking ships that entered the continental United States before Christopher Columbus. America, what we would call American Vespucius, that's why they named America, the Americans after him. There's so many things, but we know for a fact that Christopher Columbus never actually entered the continental. He was what you would consider Punch de Leon. That's more South America.
Okay.
But when we consider North America, there's argumental things.
Okay.
Just when it comes to that.
Okay. So, but would so would
But
just
the continental United States is named after American Vespucius, who was an Italian explorer.
okay.
Yeah.
Did talk by okay. So then would you say the FBAs were already in America even before all of this fiasco happened?
Well, there were rumors that what we would consider what we look at as a Native American, are actually planed natives that were more Asiatic looking. Then there were so many different types of natives. But by the 1800s, there was a general type 1 look for a native, but there were darker natives. There were different types of natives, like there were plains natives, there were more darker natives, there were more like South American looking natives that were shorter natives that were, you could consider like pygmy natives. There were so many different like genotype natives in the New World too.
Okay.
So there might have been more there might have been African natives too.
Okay.
I'm not an expert on anthropology to actually give you the direct answer to that, you know.
All right. I got it. Okay.
And I'm not going to claim that there's the Tatoes, that's more island natives. Yeah. The Tatoes, that what you consider more Puerto Rican, what we would consider more Puerto Rican or Cubano natives.
Okay.
That lady who's talking down there. But I'm not a physical anthropologist to actually give you that answer, and I'm not going to give you the I know disease like a lot of people would give you an answer that they know.
It's okay, Bowen. So I understand. So you want to speak on things that you do know. So leave the things alone that you don't know. All right, that's fair. The Africans, they token to America from the BCE. All right. Well, apparently I don't think there's gonna be any other because FBAs and Africans who want to talk about this, but so I think I know
for a fact that my people, my particular blood ancestors came up from. I live in Philadelphia. My family came up from Virginia.
Yeah.
And I have pictures of my first freed family members hanging in the wall of my family on my wall. Like my great grandmother. I have a painting of her. She was the first freed woman in my family on my mother's side, and I have the first actual picture of my first great grandparents on my father's side. Actual 10 picture of them.
Okay.
We did our genealogy, and I have pictures of them. So,
okay, interesting.
You know.
So basically, yeah, you can really tell. Can he trace what tribe he was from? Can you trace what tribe you were from?
Well, for my family, we have Lenape, Lenape from the East Coast.
Okay. Okay.
So.
All right. Interesting. Does anybody have other questions for him before I close the show? Call it a night. Voila. Okay. It's a swing tribe now. If you pay, I'm Melita. Any more questions?
There was a question. There was a thing I asked before with a lie ago. It was there's some towns in America called, was it Sunrise Towns or Sunset Towns or something like that? Is that actually a thing? Is that still going on?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sundown.
So what is that like? Certain racial activities happen, bad things happen. What after sunset?
We got all right. Let's. These are remnants from Jim Crow era time periods. Now, this is where things get kind of. You're looking at black people make up about 13 to 14% of the population of the United States of America. Okay. When that comes out, that means that we are a minority of the United States. That means there's areas of the United States where they hold strongholds of white population. And there's still areas where we, when you go into certain areas, that we have absolutely no power or representation in. And we are basically feared when we enter. We are feared when we enter into these areas. These sundown towns are where we said we're not supposed to be when the sun goes down. When the sun goes down, we're not supposed to be there. And that's where the idea of sundown towns are.
Okay.
We're not supposed to be there when the sun goes down because we have no representation, we have no power, and it is dangerous for us to be there when the sun goes down. That's where the phrase sundown towns.
Okay.
You get that?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
And it's so funny. So far, we had about 9 lynchings in the United States so far this year of black men found hanging from trees.
This year?
Yeah. This year alone. Yeah, 9 cases.
9. Wait. So, okay. Sakina, it is, are some, because she said some of them are still pretty active.
Would you say more are down south, or is that just everywhere?
The last one was like 2 weeks ago in Mississippi. A man was found with a rope around his neck 2 weeks ago in Mississippi, and it was called self-unaliving, which is not the case. Like black men don't hang themselves. So that's.
Yeah, it's crazy though.
Yeah,
Yes.
you wouldn't. Yeah, like
All of them was ruled unaliving, self-unaliving, and that's. Let me tell you something. Let me say something. As a black man, none of them should have been ruled unalive, self-unaliving. Black men don't unalive themselves. Like, by the way, in the United States of America, you know how easy it is to get a pew-pew? It is really, you go to a local Walmart and within an hour you can walk away with a pew-pew. You know what I mean? So why would we want to wrap a rope around our neck when the more sophisticated thing is to just put a pew-pew in our mouths?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you're gonna go down that route, you could just do it. So, what you're gonna have to go through the effort to go get a tree. Rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
And by the way, this is an easier thing. In most black neighborhoods, you can go to a corner and get sniffy sniff stuff.
Yeah.
You know? And guess what? That sounds like a little bit more fun to OD than actually go, grab a rope, climb a tree,
Exactly,
and jump.
Tie it up.
It's such a painful way.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, you can just go get some funny dust, you know what I mean? And lie down in bed and just drift away with some music going on in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, we want to self-unalive ourselves by like hanging like strange fruit from a tree. You know what I mean? That doesn't sound right.
No, I mean, it's more torturing yourself to think of it, to actually go through it, to do all of that.
Yeah, but all nine cases are ruled on a self-unaliving. You know, so you tell me, are these sundown towns still active? I say, yeah, they are.
The thing is, I don't want to stereotype, but rednecks, they tend to sometimes be notoriously ignorant. Some of them, so like I wouldn't be surprised because they are a little bit crazy from what I've heard.
What's more effective? If your town is known after some strange fruit's been hung from your tree, would that stop a black family from moving into that neighborhood?
But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it will. It will. If you knew that a week ago
That's
a
true.
black man would come there, that will say, you know what? That will stop a black family from moving in, but might encourage a white family to move into that neighborhood. You know what I
yeah,
mean? The
yeah,
right type of white family move into that.
Yeah, because if I was black and I heard
mm,
I can't walk around at a certain time because I might
Yeah.
be unalived on a tree, I'm never gonna go there ever. So yeah, that is true. That is very true.
But it might ring the dinner bell for the right type of white family to move to that neighborhood. Like, hey, this might be the neighborhood I want. So it's that's what you call sending the right message to the right people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. It's just crazy to think after all the time. I mean, I know racism still exists everywhere, but it's just crazy to think that something like lynching is still going on. It's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah.
well, I
It's
served.
crazy.
It's so funny. I served in the Navy for 12 years, and when I when I was there, I was surprised how many white people still did, like when I was in the service. They were like, you know what? You're my first black person that ever went in my house, came to my house. I'm like,
Damn.
man, you never had a black person in your house before? Like, crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, like, you never had a black person in your house? You never had a black friend or anything like that? Like,
And it's like, why you gotta make it sound like it's like an achievement, like it's a big thing. Bro, it's like normal, man. It's not that.
Yeah, I mean, he's also saying that he's so segregated that his upbringing and all his life, this is what it has been, and this is
But
what.
it's weird, right?
Yeah.
It's like imagine saying you're the first black guy in my house. It's like they shouldn't even you shouldn't even associate the color at that situation at all. Just be like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. Like it's
Yeah, and yeah,
so
well,
strange.
I'll
I'm
I'll
telling you,
I'll walk out.
United States, and by the way, the United States, and by the way, in the service, I worked recruitment for 4 years. I worked recruitment, so I got the opportunity to do speed dating all over the United States, and I say this without any type of pause. The United States is still the most segregated country I ever saw in my life.
Really?
It's a segregated. It's a segregated. There's black neighborhoods, Spanish neighborhoods, Asian neighborhoods, all throughout the United States of America. That's all I saw. You know what I mean? Like you cross the street, you just cross the street. You're in a totally like little China, little Cambodia, little Puerto Rico, little all these little areas, like, and it's separated by a stop, like with a street sign. You know what I mean? It's like people think it's a melting pot, but it isn't. It's just segregated. Like segregation never ended in the United States at all. It's crazy.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, at least what FBA, at least you've been through it and you know what to actually look out for and how to navigate the situation. So, I mean, Rams, did you know that it was so segregated? Did you know that it was such a? For me, I didn't know it like this, to be honest. I thought it was like.
Well, the reason FBA is so important because it's the fight for reparations. Like we really like reparation. People say reparations. When you say reparation, everybody thinks, "Oh, here we're looking for a check." We're looking. Oh, we need to give black people a check. No. Maybe a check might be in order, but it's not the thing what is really needed. What we really need is equality when it comes to like loans, like certain type of loans that get like there's loans out there for Korean people in the United States. They're called K loans, right? And these K loans are basically low interest or zero sum loans that you can do this for Korean people to open up businesses within black neighborhoods.
Mhm.
That's why when you go into a black neighborhood, you have all these Korean stores. There's FB1 loans. FB1 loans are basically loans that immigrants can open up. They open up businesses like nail salons and um, poppy stores, like Dominican stores, and all these other stores within what? Black neighborhoods. So when you go into a black neighborhood in the United States, you go to the corner store. Guess what? It is not owned by black businesses. It is owned by Dominicans, not Dominicans, um, Jamaicans, Indians, uh, Africans, all these other people owning all these businesses within our black neighborhoods. And you know what that is? That takes money out of our neighborhoods, and because guess what? None of these people live in our neighborhood. They live in white neighborhoods. So they just take the money out of our neighborhoods and bring them out.
Mhm.
And when we do open up our businesses, guess what we open up our businesses in? We open up soul food places, but we don't open up in our neighborhood. We open up in white neighborhoods because guess what? We say, these soul food, and they open up in the bougie white little neighborhoods, and they take money out of that neighborhood. But guess what? When you drive through our neighborhood, we have all these closed storefronts. So when I look at reparations, I'm looking at it like, okay, we need zero sum loans so we can start rejuvenating our neighborhoods. So if I graduate from high school, I can say, you know what? I don't want to go to college. I want to just open up a business like a corner store in my neighborhood. I can apply for a zero sum loan so I can open up a corner store in my neighborhood. That is called reparations.
Okay.
That's how I look at it. You
All
know,
right.
I can open up a nail salon in my own neighborhood where I'm going to live, and I'm going to buy it. I'm going to raise my kids in. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
going to open up a home improvement loan in my neighborhood so I can fix up the beautiful homes in our neighborhood that we drive by that look abandoned. Well, guess what? I'm going to make my neighborhood look good. You know, instead of like using them as all these beautiful homes used as tax shelters that never going to clean up, making our neighborhood look bad. You know, so many details.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
So, but we have all these. Now, I have no. I hate saying blanket statement, but a lot of immigrants who come over here from the black diaspora look at black FBAs and they say, "Oh, you guys are lazy. You guys are like you have all the opportunity in the world and you don't use anything. Your neighborhood, you guys are violent. You just all you know how to do is spark and like blah blah blah." I'm like, you guys. First thing, you know nothing about the history of us, you know, and you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for us. You know what I mean? Like, and if you knew our history, we are black excellence. Black Americans are black excellence. You know, like we have black colleges and universities that are still operating on the highest level.
Yeah.
And it's not because of, you know, we have black tradesmen who built some of the most beautiful buildings in the United States. And guess what? People run up our art museum steps in Philadelphia that was designed by a black architect of black architecture, you know, here in the United States. That Rocky steps that everybody run up in Philadelphia was designed by a black architect, by a black architecture person. You know, that was a black man in the United States. From the University of Pennsylvania. You know? So what are you talking about? You know, like it's crazy. So much black history.
Top notch. Wow. A lot of history, but come on, man.
I'm rambling right now. But thank you for letting me up.
Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you coming up to share your knowledge because you've been, you know what you're talking about. You've been through it. Thank you, Bao. All right. All right. Thank you, Bowen, for coming up. Come on, man. Black folks who are able to rise within the trauma. Yeah, MJ. I mean, that's some people would say. I mean, I would say that's somewhat insensitive. I think the better way to rephrase this is that some black people are able to rise in spite of the trauma. That's a different way because I mean, still in 2026, people are being you know, put on trees. It's on alive on trees. That's that's crazy situation that is still happening. Yeah,
Yeah, scary.
yeah, it is scary. But I think well maybe I mean at least it's not how it used to be, but still it's happening. There are many successful, amazing, educated families in the US. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's funny because it's like it just depends where.
Hmm.
I mean, I didn't know I mean, I've always known the US has a big division, but I guess it just depends where you grow up as well, because not
Yeah.
everyone in the world thinks like that.
No.
Like UK, don't get me wrong, there is some racism here and there, but it's not to that level or ever to that level of you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
unheard of.
Yeah.
It's very barbaric and savage. Yeah, it's just stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly. It's really barbaric in the US. Like insane to be honest. That's why we do you go to Atlanta and you get a taste of black success. Yeah, I heard Atlanta is the black people Mecca or Mecca. Let me see. There's somebody else who wants to come up. Let me see if there's a real person. Rashad, Black American. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see who you are.
What's up, y'all?
Yo, Rashad, how you doing? How you doing?
Good. What's going on?
Yeah, we were just closing, but we were talking about FBA. Are you a FBA or are you African?
Yes, I'm foundational Black American. Yeah, I am.
Okay, what makes you from the FBA?
I'm sorry.
What makes you an FBA?
My lineage of where I come from. I'm indigenous black.
Okay, interesting. Interesting. So, Lord, FBA don't run.
I don't like how you have a can I just say something? I don't like how you have a topic up here saying that FBAs hate Africans attitude. I don't think it's necessarily a hate type of thing. I just think we pointing out how y'all not being authentic. When
Okay.
y'all come over here to America, right? Hear me out when I say this. When y'all come over here to America,
Yeah.
I see a lot of Africans, and I live in Atlanta. I see a lot of Africans, they come up on platforms, they come up on job opportunities, and they change their whole persona. They're not being authentic. They're capturing the American look. They're capturing the black aesthetic. And I don't think it's right. If you're African or if you're Nigerian, you need to come to America or any other country that you're going to, and you need to be a proud American. You need to be a proud Nigerian or a proud African. You don't need to be cosplaying. You don't need to be tethering. You don't need to be, taking nobody else's persona. Be yourself everywhere you go. Period.
Okay, so you feel that the Africans are not being themselves. They
They're not being themselves. I don't think they're being themselves. I don't think they're being authentic.
Okay, but why does that affect you though? Why do you have a why does that affect you? Why do you have a problem with it? Why can't they just be who they want to be in order to get the opportunity?
Me personally, I don't have a deep term or problem with it, but I'm gonna speak for my whole community, right? Because like I said, I am FBA, I am Black American, so I am gonna speak for them. It affects me and it affects my community because when y'all woke up in spaces and y'all not being true to yourselves, these people who are at the helm of society, which we all know is white people, European people, and the J word, they think that you guys are one of us. And then there becomes a mix of confusion, a mix of miscommunication, because they're thinking that you guys is posing as Black Americans and you guys are just African.
Yeah, I mean,
Instead of Black Americans needing to correct that, you guys need to come up on platforms and correct it yourselves.
oh really? I mean, don't Africans say that when they go to a job, don't they claim their Africanness? I think Africans are proud people. They're not. Are they saying that they are Americans themselves?
I met one African in an interview, and I work in the healthcare system, right? And I've been in the healthcare system for a minute now, like a long time now, like 12 plus years now. Every interview that I've been sitting on, a lot of Africans who come to the hospital, yeah, they'll say their last name, they'll say this and stuff like that. But the first thing they say out their mouth is, I am Black American, I'm American. Yeah, but you're changing your accent, you're changing your tone. Why are you doing this?
Okay.
Why are you not being yourself?
They make big
And see,
sense.
that's something that, and I don't know if you're African or I don't know what's your descent, because like I said, I'm not trying to be a bit disrespectful. I'm just trying to fix the narrative, because you said FBA is dislike Africans' attitudes. And I oppose that FBA. We really don't. FBA, we in our own lane. I just don't like how everybody in different communities and platforms, they put us out on the forefront. They call us disrespectful. They call us this and that. That's hurtful. You know, it's hurtful when you have people all around you who don't know your lineage disrespect you on a daily basis.
Okay, I get it. All right. Well, that's not me. Well, so I mean, what would be the disrespect you personally? Is that what you're saying, Rashad?
You're not listening. I think you're listening to the keywords. I said that they disrespecting themselves. I put it like
Oh,
that.
okay. They're disrespecting themselves.
They're disrespecting themselves because you're not being true to yourself. I respect, let me just say this, I respect people who are authentically themselves, no matter what walks they come from.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, there comes to a point where you have to paint the narrative and you have to go out there and set the tone right. I feel like as a Black American, we are doing that on a daily basis.
Okay.
We telling you that some of these Africans who are on these platforms, they are posing as Black Americans, and nobody seems to hear that. Why do you think the word cosplaying and tethering is being used on a daily basis? There has to be a reason for that.
Okay, I get it. So basically, they cannot be themselves.
They cannot be themselves. No. And like I said, it needs to be corrected and fixed, not by us, but within their own culture. I think Africans who are proud to be Africans need to correct the ones who are not proud to be Africans. When you go up in a job interview, you got to be proud to say, yeah, I'm Nigerian, I'm this, I'm that. You don't come to America and you think that you want to pose as a Black American or Black Southerner or wherever walks you come from to try to blend in and get some benefits. That's not right.
Okay, but why is it why is it not right though, Rashad? Why?
It's not right because when it comes to the point of where, that's like saying like this, right? If you have a school project, right, and you're working with a team, and then somebody just comes in late, and they saying, yeah, I worked on that project too. You really didn't. You didn't work on it. It was a team project, but you didn't work on that project. And you need to be held accountable for that project.
Okay, so basically
the teacher needs to know that you haven't put in the effort towards making a change in this project.
So basically that you feel that the Africans, they did not have any changes. They didn't participate in making the project or making America the way that it is now. So they should say that they are African to differentiate themselves. Is that what you mean?
Exactly. Yes, I think delineation. I think delineation is the best result. You know, it's too much drama. It's too much people having different opinions. And I'm gonna be real with you because you're only gonna get real answers with me. At the end of the day, people have secret animosities. I don't care how much a person says they're a good person. People have secret animosities and they have secret things that they want to get off their chest. And they wait till they go behind closed doors to say it. Instead of saying it out loud and saying how they really feel. The situation between Africans and Black Americans has been going on for too long. And the only way to solve this problem is for them to delineate themselves. When it comes to a time of reparations, I think this needs to be corrected. So you know who you distributing money to. You know who you distributing funds to. Because right now, the way the world is going on right now, it's not looking good.
Okay.
No. And I don't agree with it. I'm not going to sit up here and sugarcoat it and say that, Africans this, Africans that. I barely talk about y'all. And I'm an FBA myself. I barely talk about y'all. But when you mention FBA, I have a problem. Because it's just like, why are you doing this? Half of us don't even be talking about y'all. We talking about how we want to do what we have to do for our lineage, our community.
Okay.
Whenever Black Americans talk about what we have to do for our community, people always want to dim our light, and that's not right.
Who the I mean, aren't they living their lives? Aren't the Africans busy living their lives and not worrying about the FBAs?
I don't necessarily agree with you on that one because in real life, if you go on TikTok or like I said, in person in real life, a lot of Africans they want to make opinions on that. The FBAs, we say we want to delineate. Here come the Africans. Why do you want a delineation? Why do you want this? Why do you want that? It's no reason to ask why should we want something. There's no reason for that.
Why not though? Why there's no reason for it?
Because let me tell you something. When you ask a J person, when I say J, I mean J-E-W. When you ask a J person right up in their community, right? Because you know they're a segregated community. Would you ask them why are they segregated, and would you ask them why can't we, intrude in their religion and stuff like that? Would you ask them that?
Okay, so it's like that's how deep that you guys see it. But I mean, if they don't know though, can they ask? Because you might not know somebody is like, living that lifestyle, so you could basically ask a question, but is it offensive to ask?
I get it, and I understand that some people they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But in the time that we live in right now, in 2026, people need to understand exactly what's going on before they come over here. They need to understand that in order to really enjoy life and walk the world the way they're supposed to, you need to be true to yourself. And that's the problem right now today and today's society. People are not being true to themselves.
Okay, Rashad.
And this is what I want to say.
Yeah, go on.
I feel like you understand that because I feel like you do understand what I'm talking about, because when a person's not true to themselves, what do you call them?
They're being fake.
What do you call them?
Imposters.
Fake.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So okay, but is there a way that FBA and Africans can live together in America though? I mean, without the stripes and basically,
I think,
why would you say it? Why would you say? How do you see it happening?
You want my real answer?
Go on. Yeah.
You want my real answer? That's what you want.
Nothing but the real.
All right. I feel like Africans need to handle what they got going on with their country. I really feel like they need to handle what's going on in their country.
What do you mean by that?
As far as the communication down there, it's not right. And I feel like the ones who are smart with their degrees and their certifications, instead of them using them in America, go back home and make your country as powerful as you said it was years ago. And that's not being mean. That's not being, biased. That's just being real. Because if I had my degree, which I do, I have my master's, I would do everything in my power, which I'm doing right now. I work at nonprofits, and then after that, I go to my full-time job in the hospital, and I support my community. I do that. I don't understand why it's a problem for these people, these Africans, to go back home and invest in their communities. It's so simple. When I tell you it's so simple, just one little change can make a difference. And I feel like they have that power to paint the narrative. But when you ask them these questions, I came here for a better life.
Okay.
People have to realize something. Black Americans, when we were here already, we had a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But we made something out of nothing.
Okay.
We created this country. We made it something that nobody in this world thought could be even powerful. Thought could even happen. So I don't understand why different communities feel like they can't replicate that. They can't do it for themselves. What's stopping them from doing that? What is stopping these Africans from doing that? And they roll in numbers, right? They roll in numbers. They roll in different drives. What's stopping them from saying, you know what? I'm tired of America. I want to go to Africa and make something happen. I want to make Ibrahim Tour, the one who said he want to make Africa come all together again, they need to take that method. They need to take that method. Because right now, what's going on, I don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it, and I don't support it.
Okay.
So
All
that's
right.
all I have to say. Like I said, I'm being real with you.
Thank you.
Like I said, if a person who don't like a person being real, I don't know what to say. I cannot wake up in the morning and be fake. I have to say what comes out of my mind, and I have to say what comes out of my heart. Because this is what's going on right now. People have to wake up and support their own communities. They did it 200 years ago. What's stopping them from doing it now in modern day? If people were all on the same page, this shit that's what's going on in office probably would have never happened. Black Americans, we voted 96%. Every other culture voted against. So I'm gonna leave you with that. But y'all have a good one.
Wait, Rashad. Mush, do you have a question or remark for him? You want to interact with him?
Yeah, just a remark. I don't understand. Just have a question though. Rashad.
It's Rashad. My name is Rashad.
Rashad.
Okay, Rashad. Do you believe that your ancestors do you feel like any affinity with Africans?
I don't ascend with Africans. Like I said.
Okay, you don't care about it. So you're African.
Listen, it's not about not caring. If a person is telling you they don't ascend with it or translate with it, believe them. So I don't ascend with Africans. I don't.
No, okay, so you have no affinity with Africans, like, or your ancestors, nothing. It's just you're an Afro-American.
No, I'm Black American. Yes, I'm full Black American. More of my family came from the South and invested and paid and worked in the South.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why you bother with Africans.
What people have to realize, and this is why I said you guys have to watch what you're saying on these platforms when you're talking about different communities and different cultures, right? Because the same way you think FBA is some kind of cult group or society or something like that, it's a lineage. It's a culture.
Yeah.
You guys have to really do the research because there were Black Americans on this land, and this is what people are trying to tell you, but nobody wants to hear it. And so this is why FBAs, we separate ourselves and say we have to do what we have to do for ourselves. But it's a constant disrespect thing. And like I just told the host, I think his name is Super Life. That's your name?
Yeah.
Super Life. Imagine if you was face to face with another community, like the J community, and you told them, why can't I come in your home? Why can't I talk to your religion or do anything disrespectful? What you think is going to be the outcome?
Nice.
You guys have to watch these things.
Okay. All right. We have JC. How you doing, JC?
I see y'all. Thank you for having me on the panel. Have a good one.
Thanks, Rashad. I know I kind of piggyback on Rashad in a respectful way because I think he really explained it the way that most of us feel. Is that there's just a big, we don't understand. You have to understand the history of Black America, that we had to get it out of the mud alone. Nobody helped us. We were a tiny percent of the population. And I don't even want to say ancestors. I mean, my great grandparents, our parents. My parents were in their teens when civil rights was passed, right? And so I think the disconnect is that you guys on your continent, you have 54 countries, right? It is predominantly African people. You guys were all different tribes. You have different languages. But see, we didn't have that in America. We just tribe Black, right? Foundational Black, and that's our tribe. And so we've always had to stick together. And so our culture from the beginning has been sticking together and pushing forward to make progress from slavery. Even before slavery was, if you look at history of all the revolts and the things that we did, we all stuck together and we still do. And like he was saying, you have to look at when 96% of us vote the same way, it is because of the unity we have within each other. And that's our history. And so for us, looking at, the way that, Africans have to leave their home countries and things of that sort, and this is, I mean this respectfully, we are wondering, why don't they get together in the name of Africa? Forget the tribalism, forget the different cultures, but get together every state, because if this had been us in Africa, we all would have been together fighting against whatever we had to. And that's just our mentality, and it's in our DNA at this point. So after generation after generation after generation, we're just taught to fight and push forward, right? And so I think what he's saying is we feel the same way. It's like, why are you guys not sticking together? And I realize it's culture and things, but when does that stop for all of Africa to say, hey, let's all get together and let's do something about this. Forget our state lines, forget our tribes. These people, the Chinese are taking everything. Black South Africans only own 4% of their resources. There's so much going on. And there's all of you who, if you stick together and fight back, you won't have to flee. You can make Africa what it is, take your resources back. And I think for us as Black America, we get frustrated because when we have Africans who come over here and they want to stereotype us or say things about us that are absolutely not true, we're looking and wondering, like, well, if this place is so awful and we're so awful, why aren't y'all doing something about your country? And why aren't you guys sticking together? And I understand, like I said, I get it, the culture and tribalism, but when do you all collectively come together and say that all of this isn't working for us? We all have to just stick together in the name of Africans and take our countries back. Because, it's sad to see how many who have pulled up to Italy and need homes, and how many refugees, things of that sort. And so with that, there's empathy there, but also what is the ending resolution? And that's all. I lay my plane. Thank you.
All right, thank you for sharing your point. Mooch, do you have anything that you want to say? I think you wanted to reply earlier. Africans does not need to do that, but the West put blocks also. Okay. Well.
Yeah, I actually do want to say something.
Yeah.
Because from my experience, especially on here, I see a lot of what is it called, like lives where Africans explain their experience. Africans who live in America explain their experience of racism, or well, not racism, I would say, but that they're like being bullied by African Americans, and I was kind of shocked because I didn't understand why.
We're Black Americans.
Black Americans. It's different.
Before Africans, whatever, Black Americans. And I didn't really understand why. And then they kind of explained that for some reason they would like talk about their kinky hair because they didn't wear wigs, or they didn't do their hair exactly the same because they come from different places. Obviously, Black Americans are different than Africans. And that's what I've heard. So for me, this is the first time I hear that, you guys.
So I can tell you from my first point that as a
Wait,
Black American, we've been told by so many
wait, one at a time, ladies.
Sorry, I let you speak. My second point is, you say, oh, I'm not an African, I'm a Black American, but African people don't really understand our history, we're different. But just like you don't understand their history, just like they don't understand your history, you also don't understand African history. It's clear you're just talking about tribalism, but it's way more complex than that. And to be honest, as someone who lives in Europe, we hear so many times, and we see so many times, Black Americans, gun violence, places where they're all there, and we call them ghettos. And we just think, why is it that? And then the only thing we hear from your side, from here I'm talking about, is it's because of colonialism. And we're thinking, why are they still talking about it all the time? Well, to be honest, I just gave up because I was just like, okay, I'm not an African American, I'm not a Black American, so I'll never understand it. But in my mind, I'm thinking, wait, how is it that that's still used as a reason? Like, I cannot imagine that you would till today still say, oh, the reason why some people, are still is because of colonialism. It's very hard to understand. But then again, my parents' background is African, and we're not African, we're not Black American, because you guys have different history.
I can explain to you. That's not a problem. Are you talking about our saying that we're not African?
No. What I just said.
Well, let me go ahead and address quickly what you were saying. Number one, Black Americans, our history is we are a multiracial people. Our roots are not exclusive to Africa. They go back to Europe and indigenous peoples, period. And that's just our history. It's back. Our whole genome is different. You can put our DNA against a person from Africa, then you can immediately tell who's the Black American, who's the African. Okay, so that's one reason. Number two, Black America, we've been plagued with stereotypes, right? Stereotypes about, oh, we're this, we're that. Black America, we have the lowest poverty rate of ever, about 13%. And Black America just closed out in 2025 with a net worth of $7.5 trillion and a spending net worth of $2.1 trillion. Black America owns over 5 million businesses with annual revenues of $211 billion a year, and we pay out $61 billion worth of paychecks. Not to mention that we also add Black American businesses at 1.9 million jobs to the United States job market. That information is suppressed. They also try to say that we're not educated, but yet we have over 107 federally recognized HBCUs, of which I'm a graduate for college and graduate degrees. So where are all these people? What's happening with that? Also, Black American women are the most educated demographic in America. Black American home ownership is, yes, we are. Black American home ownership is the highest it has ever been. And keep in mind, this is only since 1965, 65 when they signed the Civil Rights Bill, meaning the civil rights stopped white Americans from burning our towns down and everything that we built for ourselves. Our history is that we continued. We built up, they burned it down, they took it. We built up, we had cities, banks. If you educate yourself on I think Tulsa, Oklahoma, the green Black Wall Street. If you look at the places in New York, if you look in the 1870s census, Black Americans, I mean, that was just a couple of years after slavery, Black Americans were flourishing with farms. We had acres and acres of land. I'm a direct descendant of a very wealthy Black great-grandfather, right, who was a descendant of slaves, and he got run out of Georgia in the 1930s because of that. And so I think what you guys aren't understanding is that history for us is not far away. See, that's just my great-grandfather, and my mother and my father, they're 75 years old, right? So they recall these things. So these are not anything that was ancient. It's very relevant. My parents could sit up here and tell you about this stuff today. But here's the deal. We continue to press on. And throughout all the stereotypes and everything that people say about us, people from Africa come over and they're told, stay away from Black Americans. Black Americans are this and that stuff is not true. None of it's true. Those are very old stereotypes. And of course, they put stereotypes on us. Why? Because we've been largely successful at pushing forward, being a tiny percent of the population. And so for us,
Thank you.
13% of the population, we're small, but we're very strong. And we stick together. And so, excuse me?
So you're small, like a minority, but
we're very successful. And the funny part is that we get a lot of people from Africa coming over with these stereotypes, but yet we're the wealthiest Black people in the world. And that's not to be rude, but it's just to say we stop saying we're African American, because if you're going to put us down like this and you're going to say all this stuff about it, this stuff isn't even true. We are not the same. Okay. Because we press forward, we fight back. We don't fly, we don't run. No offense, we don't run. And if anything
successful, then so
we're very successful, and you can look it up in the stats. Absolutely, very much so. Very much so. Since 1964, when the Civil Rights Act was passed, which gave us legal backing so that people couldn't come and burn down our homes and our businesses, we have created over 14 billionaires. Black America has over 2 million millionaires. Black America has over 6 million Black American singles who make over $100,000 a year. Yeah. Black America has 27 to 30% of Black American families who all make over $100,000 a year, with poverty at an all-time low of 13%. That has been accomplished in only 60 years.
Yep.
So for us, that is very serious, because see, we have great-grandparents and we have grandparents who were murdered. They were unalived. This stuff happened in the 40s and the 50s. So when you guys are making light of these situations, or you're trying to say that, oh, we haven't been successful, but yeah, because of the work that we did in civil rights, after we fought for civil rights and we gained them in 1964, because we grew up thinking that people in Africa are our brothers and sisters. That's all we were taught. Then we opened the door after we fought for it. We opened the door and said, let them come over. Africans. We said they deserve a piece of the pie too. Only, and we're the sole reason Africans can even step foot in America. So after we've done that and we fought a fight, then we opened the door to people we knew nothing about. But guess what? We were told we were taken from that homeland over 400 years ago. But this is how loyal Black Americans are. We didn't know y'all. We knew nothing about you. But we said, if we're connected to these people, they get the same rights that we do when we opened that door, which allowed Africans to come over, which allowed Africans to come and get a better life, right? But then we come and we get disrespected. And it seems though Africans forget that we, the people that you call lazy, the people that you think are not successful, we were successful enough to open the doors to let our brethren come over, so called.
I really didn't
Just to be
Okay, wait.
disrespected, just to be disrespected. We did. We are the sole people who did it.
Okay.
Nobody else did it.
All right.
People did not want Africans here. That's why Donald Trump is sending you out. That's why people never wanted you Africans here. We did that. Yes, we did. We opened them solely. And if we did what we're saying,
Guys.
I'm almost done.
Okay, finish up.
And if we did it over here being 13% of the population, there's no reason as to why you guys. Let me finish.
Let us
There's
finish.
no reason. I'm almost done. There's no reason as to why you guys cannot band together and do it over there. Ibrahim Traore did it. And he's done a magnificent. Excuse me.
All right.
Ibrahim Traore did it. And I salute that man. And I respect that man. Most Black Americans do. We want to see that happen for the rest of you in Africa. I land my plane. And I'm not arguing with you because it's fact.
All right, JCB.
Oh, hold on, let me say. Man, you didn't open shit. You weren't born then. You didn't do anything. So don't
see, this is what I'm talking. Do you see the disrespect? Do you see the disrespect to him firsthand? We opened it. Black America did that for you. Black America did it, and we can close it, and we're gonna help close it. This is the disrespect I'm talking about. This is for all of my Black Americans on the panel. All of my Black Americans on the panel. I want you guys to listen. Y'all already know. Listen to this disrespect. This is indicative of the problem. We absolutely did.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay, well, figure it out for yourself. Because you're getting kicked out of countries. Figure it out.
Okay. Wait, one at a time. Let's get Mush. You wanted to say something?
No, let him talk.
Okay.
I've actually heard what he says, but I haven't heard anything because she kept interrupting him.
All right, let's let him talk.
Finish my statement, but it's just really let's on back. So you can just look it up. Everybody knows it.
Okay.
I understood from you a few things now. Thank you for informing. She says that minority.
She's aping out. That's what she's doing. She's very much aping out.
And why is she calling it arguing? No one was arguing.
No, look. Okay. Marcus 300. You were not allowing her to speak though, because I understand.
Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
But I let her finish though.
No. Let's see. Maybe she wanna come back, and I think maybe she might wanna come back. But again, what did you want to say, Marcus 300? 3,000.
Typical ape-outs. Like these FBAs ape out all the time like they done something. Immigration doesn't work for me though. Like I'm sorry, but the YT people already came to your country and took over your country anyways. You didn't have any powers to let anyone in. You had no powers. Like, it's not possible because you lot were the minority. The YT people were the majority of the population, so they're the ones that allowed the immigrants to come in. And there's not even African immigrants. Other immigrants came. Other white immigrants, other Chinese immigrants, and other Indian immigrants came. But you only have energy for 5 million Africans. It just doesn't make sense because, like, no one cares if you open doors for anyone because immigrants are still coming in to work and make money anyways. Like, I don't know why you lot play this mindset that, oh, we open doors for y'all. No one cares if you open doors. No one doesn't care because at the end of the day, you still allow people to come into the country and do work and build infrastructure as well. So,
okay.
You FBAs are a small group. You lot are an unknown group. You lot might be, a group in America, but you lot are a really group in TikTok.
Okay.
You lot are just a bunch of TikTok warriors that have no life going for yourselves. Because if you was a real FBA, you'll be doing a work within your community, but you lot are just a group of TikTok warriors that just have energy for the internet, but you never have energy for those immigrants living in those states. Like you lot are just the internet warriors. I'm sorry, but these FBAs can't go to the DMV or the Bronx and have energy towards those immigrants because they can never. Okay. They'll never have energies for the Latinos or the Chinese immigrants that are opening food shops and shops in their neighborhoods. So when I hear these FBAs chat, it's like they're just a bunch of internet warriors, really. I think they're just the internet warriors because let's just be realistic. A lot of them are saying that they open doors for people and stuff. Immigration doesn't work from black Americans opening doors for people. It don't matter. Like, no one cares if you open doors for anyone. If you don't want to be delineating peace, no one really cares if you're delineating that. No one's not trying to take your culture. No one's not doing anything to try and copy your culture. Maybe you have those people copying your culture, but that's about it.
Okay.
I don't understand. You are just a group of hyenas that just go on the internet and just be seen over towards 5 million black immigrants that came to your country. But you'll never have energy for the YT people, for the Eastern Europeans, for the people that came and built restaurants, and now people are eating from their immigrant restaurants. So please,
thank you.
Themselves.
Thank you, Marcus. Okay, we're gonna give Wildest your chance. Wildest, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Thanks for having me up. I'm Black American. I don't know why he came on the panel so hot, and I feel like I don't heard him on other Black American panels chatting. So don't interrupt me, and you go put some respect on us. So I'm gonna just say some things because the thing is, I'm gonna use your logic, right? If Black Americans are moving to the UK, it's because of what the people did during the Windrush or Black people that was there before. So if they didn't lay the grounds and fight to be humans in that area, Black Americans would not be able to come to Europe. The same with Jamaica, the same with anywhere in the Caribbean. It's the same thing in America. The reason why Black Americans go to South Africa because what they did in South Africa is the same thing. So let me name a few things that Black Americans have done that benefits everybody. We have the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Affirmative Action Policies, Fair Housing Act of 1968, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, Public Education Equality Battles Board, Brown versus Board 1954, Welfare and Social Security Net expansion, Small Business Access Minority Loan Programs, Diversity Hiring and DEI programs, cultural and political capital and Black movements that gave immigrants communities and gained visibility and respect. So if you don't know Black American culture, because I took the time to learn what happened in the UK, I took the time to learn what happened in Africa and the Caribbean. If you don't know Black American culture full and through and what we have done in history, you have no room to talk.
Okay.
All they're talking about FBA is foundational Black Americans. So anything that Black Americans do in this country is FBA. I don't use the acronym. I'm gonna correct you every time. Foundational Black Americans.
Marcus, let us talk.
You're naming the continents. You're not naming actual countries. See, this is where we're intellectually different because
what are you talking about? We're from America.
You're naming a continent. You are naming a continent. You're naming the United States of America.
No.
Yes, you named the continent. Continent. That's what you did. You named continent.
What continent?
You said America. America's a continent.
America is the United States of America. Nobody calls North America. They are called the Americas.
It's a continent, ma'am.
No, it's a country.
No, it's not. It's a continent.
Google is free. I'm from the United States of America within the continent of North America.
Yes, you're from the United States of America in North America. See? America.
United States of what?
United States
of America. You don't know United States history. It was colonies. And when they bought and purchased the colonies, which is now states, it became united because they were separate because it was 13 colonies. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, but you're naming a continent. You named Africa, you named Caribbean.
Just be quiet.
You're just naming a continent. Don't be quiet.
All right.
Naming a continent.
Please.
Stop. Yeah, right.
Stop.
All right, Marcus.
Just 54 countries. Name it.
Okay.
Countries in Africa, Guinea Faso, Chad, Nigeria, Ghana, South Africa, Congo.
Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that.
Like, be quiet.
No, look, Marcus.
You have
Marcus, if you're gonna ask her a question,
everyone can name that.
if you're gonna ask her a question, Marcus, you have to.
His lack of confidence is coming out.
Basic.
He's still spinning all over the money.
Basic.
Marcus, okay, hold on, everybody. Hold on. Everybody, look, if you're gonna ask somebody a question, you have to allow them to respond to the question. So you have to wait. But now let's change. Let's give DT DET, Miami, a chance. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. Guys, follow, like, and follow y'all. Like and follow. What's on your mind, DET?
You said FBA dislikes Africans' attitude. How come? Well, if I guess a plurality of Black Americans don't like Africans' attitude, I could speak for the United States of America and say that they're not alone in that respect. You think white Americans or Hispanic Americans or Asian Americans like Africans' attitude? Black Americans voted overwhelmingly in support of immigration because they voted Democratic, which has become basically an open border party. All those other immigrant communities, including the Latino community, the Arabic community, and the Asian community, they voted for Donald Trump in higher numbers than they voted democratically. So they don't like, I guess, immigrants, including Africans' attitudes either. And it's not just Africans' attitude, it's immigrants' attitude. And I guess there may be a few more specific problems with each group, including Africans. But Africans have a similar problem in other countries as well. I live in Miami, so I have a lot of friends that are from Europe, and I've traveled over there. And for example, in Italy, my Italian friend tried to give me a warning about racism there. He said, Italy can be very racist, but they won't be racist to you if they found out you're Black American. He said they are just mostly racist to Africans. But in America, I can say people dislike Africans' attitude. Say, for example, specifically Somalis. They've like scammed like $19 billion from the American government. They still have allegiance to their foreign country. And a lot of these other immigrant communities have that as well. And for that guy to say we don't have the energy towards white tea, like you live in Africa where your guys are over 90% of the population, and you guys live among the worst quality of life in the world, and you're an American now because you didn't keep the energy with white tea. And if we did, you wouldn't be here. Because you can look at the chart of immigration for people of color prior to 1960 and after, and it ballooned because the dominant society over here didn't want you here. And they're the ones who don't want you here now, as well as the other immigrant communities. And I feel like a lot of the immigrants, especially in the diaspora, are mad, specifically at Black Americans, because we can't be deported. And right now, we're not operating as allies to anybody because we realize that you guys aren't our allies. So we're not providing advocacy or allyship. And none of these other groups have successful freedom fights against white supremacy that we have. We've had multiple. We've got emancipation, we have civil rights, as well as other things. So I feel like that's why people are saying FBA dislikes Africans' attitude. But FBA still overwhelmingly, I guess, support Africans. They're just listening to and tuned into, I guess, maybe a loud minority on the internet, and they're mad because they're hurt.
So your leader, Tweet Nasheed, went to Senegal.
He's not my leader. He's not my leader. He's your leader.
Search up to Tweet Nasheed. You search up to Tweet Nasheed.
You brought him up. He's still your leader, not mine.
One of the founders.
Your feelings are hurt. Go cry in the car.
My feelings are not hurt, sir.
All
Go
right.
cry in the car. You talking about he's my leader. I didn't bring him up. You did.
Okay, DET and Marcus. All right. Let's give Alex a chance. He's new. He haven't said a word. How you doing, Alex?
How you doing? I honestly believe it's the other way around. I'm a computer engineer and I travel remote. Right now I'm in the Philippines.
Okay.
I was in Thailand before. And he forgot they don't like Black Americans, but Black Americans are better. They just like them because they're Americans. It's the same way with me. I'm Puerto Rican, but Puerto Ricans are Americans. They treat me nice. It's not because they like Puerto Ricans. It's because they like the American dollar. And I think that's why he got it wrong. Okay. It's an economical problem, right? African, sadly, from a developed nation, so they have that stigma. That's nothing to do with them liking their attitude or not. It's economics. Now, if we're talking about just immigrants in general, I think the ones that people dislike the most, assuming both equal power, right? Let's assume they're both in the United States, so both, economically are the same. I believe African actually like more than Black Americans because Black Americans have this attitude that we are better than anybody. You just sit here and talk. We do this before for this, before for that. Man, a
whole bunch of people fought for different things, right? You know, Dominicans fought the Spaniards, Haitians fought the French. I mean, this attitude that we are better and we're just superior. That's the problem.
We are amazing.
You know?
Yeah.
What?
No, he just said we are amazing. Go on, Alex.
Who's amazing?
No, just somebody in the chat.
That's the problem. The problem is the attitude that we are superior. And to me, that's no more different than white people thinking they are superior. You know, at the end of the day, a whole bunch of people fought for different freedoms. And in my experience, if you look, for example, economically, let's talk about people from Nigeria. People from Nigeria actually do better than white people in America, right? On average, right? They have better jobs and a better income. And that's not to take away anything from them, because Hispanic people do horribly. But also, Black Americans do worse than us economically in the United States, right? And we are at the bottom too.
Black Hispanics.
No, I'm talking about the Black Hispanic. All right,
Hispanic just means you speak Spanish. In that case, Black Americans and Africans should be in the same category. That makes no sense.
What you said?
Real quick.
Yeah.
Stereotypes.
Go on.
Hold on, Marcus. Hold on.
Marcus. Moment, Marcus.
Hold on.
No, it's actually Native Americans.
No, it's not. It's Black Americans. I put the evidence.
Okay, Marcus.
Black Americans to Puerto Ricans.
Hold on, D. He coming up here to throw stereotypes to feel better about himself. I don't deal in stereotypes. Be quiet. I don't deal in cognitive dissonance. I don't throw stereotypes that African people or Caribbean people are speaking truths. So if you're not gonna speak in truth, don't engage in this conversation. Black Americans have 107 HBCUs, and majority of the inventions.
You're anti-Black. You're an N-word user.
You have no
I know N-word user. I don't use the word.
All right.
Wow. Yourself the N-word. You don't call yourself the
You don't
N-word.
have no self-control.
Y'all call
my
y'all
bad.
call each other the N-word. Y'all do. Puerto Ricans.
I don't do stereotypes. Hold on, D. I can't actively fight against Black American stereotypes. Use other people's against
My
them.
bad. No,
I
go
have a town
on.
on me.
Go on,
Respect the
Wild.
host, respect the panel, have some self-respect.
Be quiet and just
Jesus
answer the
Christ.
prompts. Be quiet, man.
Jesus Christ, no home training.
Go on, Wildest.
I mean, we don't make up 47% of single motherhood.
Oh, you got it.
The highest.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Go on now. Yeah.
I don't want to be disrespectful because I don't know your ethnic background. I'm not going to ask, right?
You're going to Africa to find your wives. You're going to
One at a time. Okay. One. Okay. Guys.
I'm sure you look like a hyena.
No, oh my God.
Okay. Wait. No. DET. Wait.
Can I go?
Yeah. Go. Look. If.
Look. He's probably on a live people. He's probably got probation tomorrow morning. So I go to probation, go to sleep. Anyways, yeah, he needs to go sleep for probation. The problem is, right, these lot will go to European countries and African countries and won't even behave themselves. They won't even respect themselves. Like, a lot of these Black Americans will go to Jamaica, be loud, obnoxious, and they'll be on the internet for bad reasons. You lot don't protect your image. Your Black American women support unaliving your babies at the highest rate. You're doing Margaret Sackler's work. So don't try and say, oh, you are the greatest. If you was the greatest, you wouldn't be unaliving your babies at the highest rate out of all other races. You're literally doing a white woman's work, and you're literally doing a white man's work by saying that a biracial person is Black. You lot are the ones doing the colonization work. Because the one joke rule shouldn't mean that the baby's Black. It should mean that the baby's half Black. But no, you lot are doing a white man's work by not...
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Wildest, you can respond. Yeah. Go on.
Thank you. So I don't do stereotypes, and I don't do projecting because I'm confident in my culture and who we are as people. I'm not insecure. I don't need to throw stereotypes. But I will say, it's one country in Africa that has more abandoned children than the entire population of Black Americans. So let's.
Yeah,
how about you speak great How about you speak great of what your people did? So when Black Americans are speaking and talking about our inventions and what we did in this country, you don't feel insecure, right?
Who was it? Get the evidence.
You insecure. That's why you keep coming off the mic with your moist ass. You have no self-control. You like a child. Maybe you should enroll in Morehouse for some decorum, how Black Americans is. Relax. I don't have an issue with African attitudes. I don't care, right? I don't care. But I'm not going to participate in stereotypes when I can throw stats.
Okay.
The white man, you're working with the white man's job.
We've been fighting the white man since 1526, so I ain't trying to get nothing talking about. You don't fall to everyone in this country. I don't use the one drop rule. I don't participate in the one drop rule, sir. Yeah, if they phenotypically look black, they black. That's how race works.
That's white man's work. You're doing a white man's work. It's crazy.
All right, let's give Mr. State.
Look how you sound. You sound like the white man's tongue. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you speaking right now?
I'm speaking Ebonics.
No, you're speaking English. No, you're not. You're speaking English.
Ebonics.
You're speaking English.
I'm speaking Ebonics.
All right, let's give Mr. State. Go on, Mr. State.
Yeah, thank you very much. So this FBA, just like us, I believe their reasons are very much valid. I mean, we sold them for $5, and we've proven multiple times to be superior to them. And we've seen how they are second-class citizens in America. We've seen how powerless they are, and we've seen that they are our little babies. We've seen how we've taken over their women. We've impregnated 80% of Black American women. And every day, we Black African men keep getting good job. So they are just useless idiots. They start rapping at the age of 30. Most of them don't know their dad. Most of them end up in prison. Most of their moms are single baby mothers, so they live a miserable, undisciplined life.
My God.
Yeah, so let them keep shouting. And if colonization is to be happen again, I will gladly sell them for $5.
What the fuck? Don't do that.
I'll sell them for a bag of fries.
They are useless to me. They shout, they dress like prostitutes. They like the way they talk, they just talk undisciplined, very loud, very ghetto, ratchet behavior. Like they don't want to go to school, they don't want to learn any language apart from English, they don't want to improve themselves, they don't want to create business. They are just stuck, Even if not for America, a lot of them will be in generational poverty. That's why they love collective benefits every single day. And that's why they are always fitting, because they don't want to improve. They have this cliche behavior, they have this thinking, ghetto smelling behavior inside of them. That is why Black Americans need to be secluded. For us to have a progressive society, segregation is very much needed for the Black American. So I think Trump needs to just send all Black Americans to prison. They are useless.
What?
So that's all I have to say.
What the?
So tell me this.
All right. No. Let's get.
Why is it when Black American women date white men, they're very well behaved? Look at this. Look at this picture.
Wait.
How well behaved she is. But when she's a Black American,
She looks like a husband.
you get her.
She looks like a
What the hell, bro?
But Black American women date white men. They're so behaved.
Oh my God.
They're so disciplined.
Oh
So
man. No way.
the Chinese man and the Arab man. You can't behave like that. Keisha, you can't be behaving like that. Like Keisha, I won't lie to you. You can't be doing your ratchet.
That looks like a cry for help.
Yes. She's.
Go to her page on Facebook. She looking on
If you
here.
go to the Arab man, you're out the door in 2 seconds.
Oh, it is
You don't good girls to YT men. You Black American women are good girls to YT men. You don't behave how you behave towards white men.
She looks like Freakazoid.
All this projecting does nothing. It literally means nothing to me. I swear to God.
Okay, listen. This
You
is
just
the problem
talking.
is, right?
You literally just talking and projecting. It's embarrassing.
The problem is,
You
right?
talking and projecting out of insecurity and
So
confidence.
other countries and you're not behaving.
Self-esteem is in hell.
So like
Literally.
Marcus, you have to come back because if you want to come back because you,
Stereotypes.
yeah, what you just put, it's violating the platform. So you're gonna have to come back, Marcus.
Well, what they saying absolutely mean nothing. Like, I don't want to insult you because I didn't ask your ethnicity, but if they keep going there, I'm gonna start dropping stacks and hurt their feelings.
Please,
It's just time for unity rather than.
Okay, wait.
Like, and true. I don't want to hear stereotypes. What
problem is,
country
right?
you from?
The problem is,
No, 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 no. Hey. No curse. Look, no, wait, Mr. State. I know you like to express yourself, but no cursing, Mr. State.
man, be quiet. You're being like Keisha now. Calm down. You're being like
My
Keisha.
name
Calm down.
is not an insult. It's a Black American.
You're being like Keisha right now.
Okay.
So,
Congratulations on stereotypes like
I'm the
that,
host.
man.
I'm the host.
Cheers.
The host. The problem is, look, see, this is when they deal with criminals. This is what Black American women deal with. Anyways, look,
No swearing.
you deal with criminals, man.
My husband, I'm at the front of the engineer. My son don't have to do it.
He's probably got evidence, man. Be quiet.
What you say?
It's the same in the UK.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. Yeah, a lot of BLK women in the UK deal with criminals. I won't lie to you. A lot of them deal with criminals. Like, that's a
Why
fact.
is the channel full of insecure people? I don't
Anyways,
understand.
the host, can you stop my time, please? Because she's just over talking like how they are. Can you
No,
restart my time?
no. You continue.
Alright, so basically, right, what I am saying is, when these lot go to other countries in Europe, they are very respectful towards other black people. These FBAs just go online and be xenophobic. They can't go to Ghana and Nigeria and behave disrespectfully towards the locals. The locals will look at you like, huh? Remember where you are. A lot of you Black Americans, when I went to Ghana, that's where I'm from. I was in Ghana last year. A lot of you Black Americans were good girls and good guys. Like, you lot will never talk like this between us UK Blacks. Like, us UK Blacks will come to your country and will take your girls. That's what we do. In Ghana, you Black American women in Ghana were already freeing it up to us anyways. Like, I mean, for you to say this, like, oh, Africans are not doing anything. No, the Africans, the African men take your women. The African men are taking your women. You Black American women are the ones going to Africa and getting used for green cards.
I'm married to a Black American.
All right.
Okay.
Let's give Alex a chance first. Alex, you've been here. Alex.
Yeah, like I said before, I don't understand what's the problem with it. I mean, at the end of the day, Africans do better than most of us in America under the same rule, like I originally said. Like, so I don't understand the point of what's the, and as far as like Black Americans are following rules, you know, when I went to Puerto Rico, it was the same way, you know. I think Black Americans, I don't know if it happened during the Martin Luther King era or not, but they are really undisciplined. They kind of like worship, like rap and worship this like how can I say, the street mentality and you know and have very little body for education. Like that girl said, I speak Ibon. I mean, what do you say? What are you saying? You speak English, you know? But then what's one of the things that I'm talking about. It's lack of education and understanding. Like, you know, Ibon is not a thing, but that's one example.
Can I speak of it?
Yeah. Go on.
I bet these people with low self-esteem, the insecure, coming up here to throw insults and running from laugh to laugh to laugh to Black America.
That's an English word, by the way. Where's your Bonics words? You said you got your Bonics.
What's wrong with this man?
Translation. Can you translate what you said?
Don't speak English, madam. Black woman, speak English, not
What's wrong with them? Jesus Christ.
Hey, let us speak.
Let the largest concentration of these men, and you can see that it's third world. Just listen to the way they talk.
They come from cursed lands. A lot of them come from cursed
Listen to the
lands.
way they have logic. These are people that have been building anything for centuries.
One at a time.
Let them know stereotypes, sir. Host.
Nothing.
Women make 40% of SMEX work. That's a fact, actually. Your little girls are doing SMEX work at the age of 15.
These men are so, their countries are so vulnerable.
At the age of 15.
Their countries are so vulnerable that you could literally fly a jet over their country and bomb it indiscriminately, and they wouldn't be able to shoot it down.
St. Louis has the highest unaliving, sir.
They flee to other countries just to date fat women.
Immigration doesn't work
Just
like
to
that.
date fat women who's willing to give them a green card. That's how bad that's the state of Africa right now. That's the state of the African man right now. Just a bunch of
unity would be better.
backwards
At the end of the day.
Unintelligent,
Yeah.
illogical,
These
tried
logical N-word users.
losers and failures.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
These are the N-word users. These are the N-word users that have no education.
All right, wait, everybody, hold on.
Hosts in 107 HBCUs, not including grammar and elementary schools that's owned by Black Americans in 107 HBCUs that produce 80% of doctors, lawyers, and engineers in the United States of America.
You're
So you
arguing
can
with
zip it.
thusans of years of tribalism.
You're These are the N-word users. These are the N-word users, host. These are the N-word users. These are the ones that use unprogressive English.
These are the black niggas.
Okay.
That's what they use.
This is thousands of years of tribalism that you're trying to argue.
These are the N-word
They
users.
don't get along with each other. They don't get along in their own country. They got
You have to
thousands of
get along
tribes.
with each other.
They got nations that were built and put together by white.
You unalive each other at
That's
the
how
highest.
bad these people are.
But you
There's
unalive
a
each other.
civil war in literally every one of their countries right now. The
And they argue with
Ghanaians are
Black
killing the Nigerians out.
Blacks.
The Ghanaians are
What's going on?
unaliving
What?
the Liberians. West Africa is a mess.
This is why you're not educated.
Okay. Look,
Civilization.
wait.
These
Let's
people
give somebody
themselves.
a chance. No.
Criminals don't have a color. That's what these uneducated fools will talk. They have no color.
All right, let's give
You had a British accent. You don't fledge your own way.
You're speaking English. You're speaking English.
I don't want to have a British accent.
guys. Wait.
You're speaking English, sir. So you're speaking English. What's going on?
Can I make a point? Just because a black guy has a British accent doesn't mean anything. There's so many Nigerians here that have a British
Real,
accent.
don't jump in when he getting it back after you just said
Oh,
that.
be quiet, Wonderula. Be quiet, Wonderula. Be quiet, Wonderula, please.
These
Okay.
folks call themselves Africans, and all of them got accents
you're
and living in other
You
countries.
know how Bernie and Trump mistakes right from.
Can I ask a question? So if your parents don't have English in another country, it doesn't matter if you have accent. But anyway.
This is over in Britain thinking about black
You guys even outsmarting you. You're speaking English, sir. You have no language.
Okay, let's give State.
That your British accent is the reason why you're not African, which is absolutely retarded. If your parents from Nigeria, for example,
This is West African. This is West African logic. We've all seen how West African logic plays out. It doesn't build anything. It doesn't create anything. They're using West African logic right now.
No
West
electricity.
African logic does
No
not
water.
work in reality. It doesn't work.
All right, Mr.
But can I
State.
say something?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm being nice, but instead of always running and talking about doctors and lawyers, how about they create crafts of electricians, mechatronics engineers, mechanics, create trafts for plumbers, create trafts for welders. How about they focus on that? See, I was being nice.
You can't be nice to men who flee their homelands. You can't be nice to them. If a dude can walk away from his women and children to go live in another society and be a doctor for another group of people while his people at home need doctors, you can't reason with that type of man. You just can't.
All right,
Miss.
Miss.
Black Americans is because with
Because
some
if the
people,
country's
don't come from
in
a
war
culture
or famine, what do you do?
when the cell phone and the GPS wouldn't exist without Black Americans. Could you
All
let
right.
me know?
Okay, then.
People lost their mind.
One moment.
In a war-torn situation where you're being unalived every day and you're in a very violent place and you need to move around or you're a refugee, how does that work about not being respectful for staying in their country when those people
You
are in
are a refugee at that.
Wait.
But
You're an
argument is saying
asylum
that
seeker. You took the spot that a woman could have took. How about that? A woman could have took that spot that you're taking now, fleeing to another country. A child could have took that spot that you're taking, fleeing to another country.
no, I'm talking
Instead,
about people who
you're
bring
a
their families
selfish-
over. What's that?
You're a selfish refugee. That's it.
We was
Okay, so
wrong.
what if your family's been
We
ended
was
off?
wrong.
How does that make you a selfish?
Black Americans was B.O.
You took the spot
Black
that a
Americans-
child could have took. Do you understand that?
We
A
fought.
woman could have took that spot that you took. Do you understand that?
All right, let's give Mr. State a chance. Mr. State, what did you want to say?
Okay, this black nigga slave have been reducing my IQ, man. I'm tired of hearing the nigga language, man. I'm very sure this bitch down below is a prostitute.
No
I'm
cursing.
very sure the nigga above me
He's a fatherless mother.
That's how they talk to each other in their own way. That's why they can't build anything. That's why they don't trust each other. The same way he's talking to us now, it's the same way he talks to his neighbor. It's the same way they talk to their family. It's the same way they talk to their children. It's the same way. That's why they have a low-trust society. They can't build anything because nobody trusts each other because of the way this dude is running his mouth right now. You're a refugee. You're in your country. You're running your mouth. You can't get along with other Africans. So you're here running your mouth about Black Americans. We've done more than you would want. We've done more
What the hell?
less.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. We have somebody new. Let's give Chef a chance.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
No. Wait. Let's give Chef a chance. Go on, Chef.
I am the slave master was talking. I was interrupting.
Africa had slavery and still do over 1 million people enslaved on the continent.
Go suck some African dick.
What the hell, bro? Hey guys, okay, Chef, go ahead.
Well, it's them digging their own resources out for another group of men. How messed up is that?
All right.
Mother, nigga.
All right.
I want to know where that guy's from, actually.
Chef, go on.
Okay, yeah, I understand where you guys are coming from, all of you, but we're just picking at each other. We're literally just the same people. You look at your bloodline. Black Americans aren't natively from America. You guys came from Africa.
No, they're from Europe.
Let me just finish. Let me finish my argument. And then,
from America.
Let him finish. Let him finish first.
Your ancestors are African. But I get it. Your home is now here and you're American. We get it. But what I'm trying to say is that we're just picking at each other. But the actual problem of why we're going through all that we're going through is not because we can't. We always have been a resilient people. You can look at it, Black Americans, I respect you people, but look at what's happening in the country and how we're being divided. Look at now we're just picking at one each other, looking at all your faults, but all of us are not perfect. You get it? You can talk about accents all you want, but it's not going to fix anything. The problem is, here in America, there's a culture imbalance. A lot of Africans are more reserved than Black Americans, but that doesn't mean that we're different. Yeah, we have differences in terms of culture, but that doesn't make me any less of a man because I'm African. We have our own troubles in Africa. You have your own troubles here in America. But you have your own successes here in America.
I came up here and say I didn't want to deal with stereotypes. Didn't I come up here and say that, host?
Yeah.
And they kept throwing stereotypes being disrespectful. And you don't know, Black Americans are highly religious in the South and very conservative and reserved. So stop it.
Okay.
Don't speak on
I'm not. Okay. Now we're having an actual conversation. I'm not trying to insult you. I'm trying to tell you what I've seen with my own eyes. Opinionated, yes, they are different. Oh, you see, you can't just put black in one pot and give one formula and say this is how all the people act. But I'm speaking of what we've experienced when we're in this country. We see that a lot of people are not as reserved as you may say. You may claim, maybe if you show me that group of people, they are, but they're not the majority. We can't make the rule out of the minority. It doesn't make sense.
You don't know the majority. You don't know the majority of Black Americans. I don't even know the majority of Black Americans, and it's my culture. So that's like fundamentally silly to say.
Okay, what is your culture?
What you mean? What stereotype? You didn't hear the stereotypes they were throwing?
What were they saying about Black Americans?
I don't gotta explain that to you. I'm not actively gonna repeat stereotypes because I don't even know y'all.
I get it, and I don't know you.
We don't even know other people's stereotypes to be throwing them. I'm just gonna throw truths.
I get it, and I'm just saying that it's worthless for us to come here and start to pick fingers at each other like that's gonna solve anything. If anything, if we get back to the drawing board, you'll see that you and a person back in Africa, the blood that runs in your system, your DNA, it's the same DNA. Maybe different from location. Yes, you did come to America. You are now in America, but we're just the same people being divided by different circumstances or different life situations or different life experiences, I'd like to say. But we're not utterly different. You know, and yeah.
What is that?
Can someone read this, please? Can someone read what this Black American woman said about her own man?
Nobody
About
cares.
anti-blackness. Hold on. This is your Black American woman, your Black American citizen-born women. This is how they talk about their men. This is how Black American women talk about their men. They say they understand their men or we care for men, but this is what you lot do on average basis online every day. Look, this is a screenshot I just pulled up. So if anyone can read it and let me know what she said.
Why you trying to be funny? It says, where you going with that?
It says women goes viral after claiming that. It says women goes viral after claiming that black men are the worst today because they tend to treat women poorly. That's what I'm saying. That yes,
Chef, read the next part.
I don't care.
Okay.
Let him read. Let him read. Go ahead.
Woman goes viral after claiming that black men are the worst to date because they tend to.
Not that one. No,
which one?
This one. The bottom one. The one that's in red and white.
Okay, maturing is realizing
that one. Yeah.
Okay, let me see. You can read it. I can't see the other side of it.
Yeah, we cannot be.
Because he's switch it up. I think, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, let's see.
It's a child marriage. I don't care what one woman got to say. I don't know her, but we can talk about child marriage.
Which country?
Majority.
Majority.
The one you from.
Name the 54.
Somali has child marriage. Mali has child marriage. Ghana has child marriage. What are you talking about? Eritrea has child marriage. Egypt has child marriage. Chad has child marriage.
All right. So guys, wait. Guys, okay. Closing thoughts. Everybody can have 2 minutes. Marcus.
All right.
Okay, so again, these FBAs think that Africa's a country. This is why I can't have a group of discussion with uneducated people. She's named East Africa and North Africa. You see, Africa's got 56, even 56, including the islands, if you add it all together. This shows that people who are uneducated and incompetent will always make those talking points. I've said, which countries in Africa have child marriage? She says all of them. You're not pulled up any evidence, but in her community, you've got R. Kelly, you've got P. Diddy, you've got Donald Trump, who's currently running the country, who's had allegations of touching little girls. Bill Cosby, and these Black American athletes will run to white women and get divorced and their money gets taken. Mr. Shannon Sharp, he couldn't pay for his own daughter's wedding, but he went to go and pay a white woman. They don't even like their own women. These Black American men and women don't even like each other. Because you have Bill Cosby's, you have the P. Diddy's, and you have the R. Kellys in their community. This is the reason why I can't comprehend with people like this. Because they don't even date their own. They run to white women. If you go online, you're going to see American women talking about unaliving BLK babies inside their stomach. These are doing the work that Margaret Sanger did. Margaret Sanger said, I'm not person exactly, I'll get the screenshots right after. Unalive these Negroid babies. If you go on the stats, Black American women are the highest women to be unaliving their babies. You see, these are the people that want to say they're the greatest, but they're the lowest married group, and even the men are going to UK to find the UK BLK woman. The African UK women are taking Black American men because they know that the UK and European women are more serious with their own. So, I mean, for you to say that, it's just audacity. Because your Black American men love the African women with them passports I'm seeing in Ghana and Nigeria. They love it. They're enjoying their time in Africa. I salute to them for getting their passports because they need it.
Thank you, Marcus. All right, we're gonna move to Wildest. I think Chef is busy. 2 minutes. Closing thoughts, Wildest.
Yeah. Thank you, host. I appreciate your modesty and your respect for everyone on the panel. I don't got time for them stereotypes. I would prefer a Black American man to date somebody from Ghana than a white woman any day, right? All them stereotypes and all that stuff he was throwing literally don't matter. Black Americans have 107 HBCUs. We 100% value education because we want to build the schools and we did not value education. HBCUs, you can check the stats, produce more than half of doctors, lawyers, and engineers. We have our own medical schools, multiple law schools, but we don't care about education. We have elementary schools, we have high schools that's Black American owned, even in giant cities like Chicago and New York. We 100% value education.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're getting them from. I'm not here to throw stereotypes. I'm going to throw truths.
Okay.
Nigeria 100% do have child marriage. Over 1 million people are enslaved. It's more children in Nigeria alone that's abandoned than the entire population of Black Americans. So we just speak in truths. I'm not going to speak in stereotypes. Black Americans are baby mamas. Baby mamas exist in Nigeria and every country in Africa also in large numbers. It happens. It's in the Caribbean. It's in Poland. It doesn't matter. It's single moms everywhere. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Throwing them stereotypes literally means nothing to me. Let's throw troops and let's provide sources for what we're gonna say. He's going to throw stereotypes because he thinks it's hurt his feelings, and he go jump to another lab and argue with Black Americans. That's what he do all day long, and change his profiles and be moist at the mouth continuously. He's gonna leave his lab, go find Black Americans to argue with. He jumped from Black American panels all day long and scream all day long. So, host, I appreciate you having me up here.
Thank you for being.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
I'm about to drop. And he's still talking about a white number. I don't care about white people. We've been fighting them since 1526. Like, nobody cares about them. Literally.
Thank you, Gladys.
Can I?
Yeah,
Can I come in?
You up.
All right. So yeah, I get what he was coming from, and I think the whole argument is both sides, be it African, Black American, like it or not, we're just people, the same bloodline. We're human. We all have problems. But when it comes to Black American women, yes, I'd say my experience with Black American women, not all of them, but majority of them, because majority makes the rule, they're very masculine. And it makes sense to me, not to throw shade about the effects of slavery, but I think about a book that I read. You can look it up. It's called Willie Lynch and the Making of a Slave, and how they programmed our women to become masculine and feminize men. And you can see it in this economy that is highly prudent, that you see that a lot of men are feminized and a lot of women are masculine. So that's just their coping mechanism to survive. That's what I was saying. It's an issue of what happened to us, not because there's something wrong with there's something initially wrong with the person, but it's because of experiences. And then you go back to Africa, you see Africa has been sabotaged for a long period, and we have faulty leaders, we have problems, we have child marriages, but one thing that we don't have on a larger scale is masculine women. Maybe we're getting masculine women now because of this pop culture thing that we call the culture now, which is actually destroying black communities. I'd say, any other race of women are they're more submissive than Black American women. But yeah, that's all I have to say. At the end of the day, no shade on anyone. But yeah, if you don't like Black American women, that's fine. You can go for any woman you like. But we should address the issue as it is and face it more diligently, so that we can come to a solution that's actually viable for the both of us.
Okay. Thank you, Chef. Thank you, Chef. All right. Thank you guys for getting to 1K likes. Everybody, if you haven't followed already, I would appreciate it. You follow my page. Okay. I think Mush don't have no final thoughts. Let's move to maybe she wants to be the last. Go on, Rams.
I was gonna say it's such a stupid argument. It's so dumb because it's like the more division you're creating between the Black community, the easier it is for people to just say bad things and kind of whatever racism that they really had. It just makes it so much easier because when you're not united. It's bad. Like, I know I'm from the UK and, the US is a whole completely different world, but it's like Donald J. Trump is just, going to keep with the ICE killings. He's going to keep, unaliving. He's going to keep with the systematic racism, and he's just going to keep dividing your community further and further and further. So in a time like this, it just makes more sense for you guys to develop more unity rather than just be separate, because it's just going to set everyone back. Like, the whole idea of... he's from Nigeria, He came over to this country. He's not like me. I was born. It doesn't matter, man. It literally doesn't matter. What's the difference? What's the difference? That guy came. He's working. You're working. Just get on with it and live life. But yeah, that's my argument. Like, stop being so separated and radical. Because back in the day, when racism was at all-time high, not now, but I'm talking, I mean, it's still bad, but I'm talking about back in the day with the Jim Crow laws and, you know, when a lot of people's parents and grandparents and great-grandparents were fighting for civil rights, do you really think that they were having this argument? Oh, this guy's from Africa, I'm not going to chat to him. No, they were trying to fight for this, their right to just live life as a normal human being. So stop with this whole division of this and I'm better than this person because I'm born here. It's so stupid. You guys are just setting back years and years of progress, in my opinion.
All right. Thank you, Rams. Thank you for being here. All right. So, put you in the chat. So, Mush, are you submissive?
My ass. Can I say that, or will I get banned if I say that?
Well, I don't know. Well, so no, because someone was saying that the American women are not submissive, so I just thought of asking you because you are a European woman.
Is that a bad thing? I think everyone has their own things, right? Like, for example, Slavic women are known for being like really feminine, taking care of themselves,
Really?
Submissive.
Slow.
Yeah, Slavic women. And it's not a bad thing. Some would call them like bad. I don't know. It's like they're like really hard to love because they say that they're really materialistic, but they don't see it as materialistic. They think that that's normal. If you care about me, you buy stuff for me. That's really Slavic. Like most of them, it's kind of, or maybe you could say stereotype. And then you have, African or Black Americans, and they have their own thing.
Not good.
And there are a lot of feminine men, and they like masculine women. So, what's good, what's bad?
Yeah. So, I mean, for you.
We cannot deny that.
Yeah.
For me, I'm not submissive. If I find the right man, yes.
Okay.
Of course.
All right. Okay. All right. So, what are your closing thoughts again? For this conversation.
I agree with Rams, and also I think we should not look down to. I think it's crazy that I see a lot of Black Americans basically like just looking down, or like I said, like picking on the Africans that just came here in the 70s, 80s, 90s, or just like recently. They're doing great. They also, started businesses. They just came here. Just be nice to them. Come on now. Like, it's crazy that they're like, I feel like they think that they're better than them for some reason. It's whatever. It's crazy. So that's my closing thoughts. You're nice. Blah. I don't care.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get it though. I didn't understand what this was about, that Black people in America are still segregated. They have subcultures. And the fact that this is happening, the FBA want to be recognized, want the Africans to be themselves and stop cosplaying. Like, for example, for them to get the job, they want them to be said, okay, hey, I'm from Ethiopia, for example. I'm from Morocco. They want them to earn it or say where they're from rather than just saying, okay, they are Americans. Because the FBAs want to be the one to say, well, we are American because we did all the work. We paved this way, or we paved this road for you guys in order to be able to have this wonderful life.
Oh, so I didn't know that. So the Black Americans worked their ass off for the African people.
Well, for themselves, because the situation, but then for the situation that they were going through, when it comes to starting from the times of slavery, and they had to get out of that and to create different opportunities for themselves, or to remove the things that were the barriers that they had to deal with. But again, the Africans are also able to benefit from that, but they want the Africans to say thank you guys, I appreciate it.
On your knees, I've worked my ass off all my life for you African people. You should be thankful for me.
Literally, yeah.
It's for you and not for myself, my kids.
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, like if I was them, I mean, I wouldn't mind. No, just leave us alone. What do you mean? Leave. Yes, African American have put system in place to progress America. I mean, that's a good thing. Like all American, like all Africans cannot come in this country and I mean and America and know all these things that you guys have done, because that's why the conversation needs to be had so they can understand. But again, one thing that I do see that a lot of Africans take the stereotypes or the wrong part of FBA culture, and that's the one that they want to take and project to the world or believe themselves. While a lot of people also mention that, and it's true, and I have verified it, that African Americans of the FBA, they are one of the fastest growing millionaires in America, and they have done so much for the country. So I find it really, yeah, you know, as people, like if you're learning a different language, you will firstly learn to understand, or the first words that you will capture is or are the bad words. And this is the same way a lot of the time when it comes to different cultures, we'll just take the wrong part or the negative parts from that country, from that culture, and take it.
Yeah, but there's something I don't understand though, because Black Americans, they don't see themselves as Africans. They're like, okay, I come from different places like Asia, Europe, whatever. Okay, fine. That's their history. That's their ancestors, where they're from. Okay, but then, for example, Chinese people, Asian people are doing really well. You know, also in school. Then why is it that they don't have any problems with? Like they're never like saying,
maybe,
okay, African people should be thankful to me. You know, I've invented this and I've invented, and the white people. So why is it only like the Black Americans who have no affinity with Africa at all, because they don't look like Africans at all? They look more European. That they feel like they should be thankful for them because they invented what, light bubbles and GPS, and that's and they've worked their ass off all their life for the Africans. So yeah, it's a little confusing for me.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm trying to understand.
I understand. So let's say it could be. The question is for you that you just asked. How come we're not hearing this sort of drama or this sort of division amongst the Asian communities? Perhaps because, you know, we are African. You know, all of us are, and I'm not sure if everyone here in this lives today, but in origin we are African, so we focus on African situation, or Africa, our entire lives we try to look for that. And maybe when it comes to the Asian, no, let's say we are Black. Okay, let's put it like this, that we are Black, or we are Afro. I prefer that. So when it comes to the Asian community, maybe we don't look for it, but there are a lot of
for it also, no? Don't you think?
So what did you say?
Like Asian people, like they also migrated here, but they never like, you know, oh, African people should be thankful to me, and it's I think it's kind of the same. Like I'm trying to think like how they think. Like Black Americans just think, okay, we're not Africans, so you have no affinity with Africans, and why should they be thankful for you for working your ass off for yourself, basically? Because I don't believe that people came here on this world and thinking, if I was born as a Black American, I cannot imagine I'm gonna work my ass off for some random strangers from the other side of the world living in Africa. What is that?
No, yeah, it's not really like that though. It's just that they want them to show recognition and to be themselves. That's one of the biggest thing they said, and not be themselves, to show, meaning that if they came from Kenya, to say that they are Kenyan instead of saying that they are American, and to show recognition to the FBA that they are thankful for creating such opportunities, or that they have paved the way for them. I don't think these things are realistic, because people are gonna do whatever they feel like doing, and whatever works for them best.
Same for Black Americans when before that they, because they have a different history. Like, okay, let's say that Black Americans have no, like, zero DNA from Africa. But let's say that's true, right? Okay, they still
for some reason, some say that they are Native Americans, okay, but there's some that moved from another continent to America, and then they started saying, okay, we're Black Americans. That's our identity. Their identity is American. They don't want to feel any affinity to Africans, even though they both. In my eyes, I'm sorry, maybe that's racist, but in my eyes, I don't really see any different because I just saw a picture from an African American, in the bikini. She looked very like Ghanese to me, like very African, but apparently she's Black American. Okay, let's say we cannot see the difference. Let's say we can see the difference. They also started somewhere. There was also a point for them where they started saying, we are Black American, that's it. We don't care about our DNA, we're Black American. And why cannot the Africans do that as well? Why can they not want to also be part of the American dream, part of being American? Why can I not just say I'm an African American? Don't understand that.
Well, that's a good question. So hopefully one day, I mean, there's a lot of answers to it. The US is a country of immigrants. And one thing for sure, Mush, you missed it. Earlier, there was a 50-year-old who was talking about this. He was saying how the US is so segregated. It's one of the big, it's like, it's very segregated. So I do understand it's like everybody will trying to stay within their own group or create a different group. But yeah, hopefully one day.
Everyone should mind their own business. I think that would help. I mean, I think it's easier to look at people who just came later and then feel superior to them and just be like, you should do this, you should do that, because we did this. And I'm just thinking, can we not just kind of like welcome them and just let them go through the process, just like you went through the process of becoming Black American. A lot of, like you said, Black Americans have different ancestry. Some have like Caribbean, some have African, some have Asian and European. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't.
Let them. Just let them like experience it. If they want to say I'm African American, why does it bother you if you have no affinity with Africans? If you don't, if you see no difference, if you see a difference between you and an African. Okay, if you truly don't see yourself as
how you doing, JC?
like them, then just don't bother.
JC, like, I was. You know what? Based on what you just said, like 30 seconds, I agree. It's like, leave them just be themselves. But again, I guess I guess it's just like sometimes people just want to be dictating what other people should do. And but again, when it comes to the Asian culture, there's also segregation. You guys wouldn't believe. Maybe I should start attracting Asian cultures because they have this superiority complex as well that is also layered. It's like, to be honest, almost every nation culture has their own the same thing happening basically. This very same situation. Yeah. Okay. Yes, very true. We get attack, lynch, profile. Yeah. Okay. Let me ask you this, Jay. If there will be a lineup, of just different African people or not African, Black people. So, and then there are FBAs. There are people from different areas of the globe. I mean, if somebody would, if a white person would come, wouldn't they just say, "Oh, they are all blacks," or would they try to differentiate?
Right, they cannot. Like even I am. Look, my parents are both from Africa. Even I could not differentiate an African from a Black American. But Black Americans say no. I can see the difference. I can tell that someone is African, and I can tell when someone's Black American. I can only imagine it's because
they would, and I agree. That's we all look the same until we speak. Yeah, of course, until we speak. But we can tell. Okay, we can tell. Yes, exactly. That's the thing. That's the beauty of it, that we can tell. Just like for example, when it comes to twins. If you are close to them, their parents might be able to tell, or they might be able to, like, if you are friends of them, you will be able to tell which one is the difference. But to a stranger, they will all look the same as twins. But again, that's like, all I'm saying is that we have differences. We have differences. Yeah, we have differences, and we need to find a way to work through it, to be honest. Like, I think one of the biggest part of it is to accept each other. That's it. One of the biggest step. Accept each other for who you are. As long as people are not, putting your life in danger. I mean, yeah, just learn to accept each other and to try to understand each other's uniqueness, because these things that we can say that are so terrible, but in some way some culture that are black still try to imitate these things because they find them so cool, or just want to, to become or to emulate it. So
Yeah, and in China as well, there's like a TV show there, and they invite African Americans, but also Black Americans and Africans from France, because they're really good at like hip hop, because of, like the black culture,
yeah,
and they love that and they like to see
yeah,
that, and I mean it's good. Everyone
true,
their own thing.
true, true, exactly. Because like one of the worst thing, like it can be heartbreaking as well, is that to find out that a different culture admire your uniqueness more than your own people. Like imagine like me and you are friends, Mush, that somebody just
Imagine.
oh, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm just saying imagine a scenario because we know we are. All right. So imagine the scenario, and a friend is, or somebody, a stranger is treating you or I much better than we are treating each other. That would be a shame, right? Coach is being professional. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a shame. Marcus, we are closing, Marcus. So right now, no more testosterone, only estrogen right now for me. I mean for us. Yeah.
Oh my god, I died earlier. Oh my god, some people were so funny.
Yeah, Marcus, you were funny, bro. Like seriously, Marcus, you were like,
Marcus
thank
and the
you.
other guy.
Yo, hey Marcus, J Queen don't want you up. She was like, no, leave him off. Oh
No,
yeah.
Marcus and the other guy. What was his name? Wait.
Miss, yeah, Mister. I mean, his mouth is too filthy. Yeah, Marcus, I got a notification earlier, but that there was TikTok was saying that what you put up was kind of like, they say, take off this person, just summarizing, remove this person from the live or your life is gonna be affected. So I
Oh
had
my
to,
god.
yeah, so I had to remove you
They were
quickly.
fast. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, he was really crazy. But I think it's like from both sides, right? Like, I've also heard like Black Americans like just like this thing out, like Africans, like, oh my god,